What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Sean O'Connell YouTube channel. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the 2 must-do mods on your Honda Talon that you want to do to protect your machine and keep it lasting real long. Because you guys know you spend a lot of money on them, you want to take care of them and do them right. So these mods are going to be for no matter what kind of riding you do. If you do mud riding, you do trail riding, you do dune riding, you're going to want to do these mods. Alright, y'all, the first mod I'm going to show you guys is this Super ATV frame stiffener that I put on here. I put this thing to the test this last weekend at Busco Beach. No matter whether you do trail riding or whatever, you're going to want this so you don't bend your frame on this thing. Because you bend the frame and you can't just fix this frame. It is a freaking pain if you want to fix it, straighten it out. A lot of times your insurance will end up getting you a new frame and swapping everything over at the dealership. So must-do frame right there. This one isn't really for the dune guys unless you guys get into some water. I'm going to show you guys how to do a $100 snorkel kit. Build it yourself. All you need is a Sawzall and like a socket set, and you can build this thing. So this right here is what I prefer. This is what I call the $100 snorkel option. And I'll show you guys the vent lines too. But this aluminum piping is 3 inches and it breathes a lot better. But if you need to make a snorkel kit in a pinch and you only have a couple hours and you need to build a snorkel kit, I'll show you how you can build a snorkel kit for $35 with stuff from Home Depot. And what I'm talking about is a weak point on the Honda Talon, and that is the frame. So on the frame, you have these lower control arm brackets and then the upper control arm brackets. So a weak spot on these frames is right here, these lower control arm brackets. So as you see mine right here, they are kind of bent backwards. That comes from going down in the mud and hitting a hole and it kind of shifting it backwards. Luckily for me, it's just this one bracket. If it were this bracket and the front bracket, or the top brackets, or both sides of brackets, I'd be looking at having to replace the entire frame right now, or do some custom welding and fabrication, or get something like that done. So luckily for me, we caught it early on. The reason we were able to kind of see it is because when you let go of the wheel when you're driving, it kind of pulls to the left a little bit, and that's because this lower control arm bracket, which is connected to the frame, and Honda considers it part of the frame, is bent backwards. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to bend it back to its as close as possible to the normal spot, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a $150 part that is going to potentially save you thousands of dollars in repairs, because there are several people who have had the exact same issue as me that have had to replace their entire frame when they go to Honda, because Honda says, hey, you know, that's an accident, you know, you're gonna have to cover that under your insurance instead of the warranty. We're not gonna cover that. So this is something that I recommend everybody does on their Honda Talon, no matter what they're doing with the machine, right? So I'm going to straighten these parts back out. I'm not going to show you guys that process because it's not going to be anything sexy or awesome looking. It's literally just hitting it with some hammers and stuff like that and doing some measuring. But then I'll show you the part here in a second. All right, guys, so here is the fix for the issue I'm having. Well, to keep me from having this issue again, since I've got it all straightened out now. This is the Super ATV frame stiffener kit for the front. What this does is it really beefs up, so these basically sit like this, and these are going to connect to the lower control arm mounting points, so that beefs that up. And then the rear portion of that right there, got a little spacer right here for the skid plate, the factory skid plate, and all the associated hardware. So I'm not going to bore you guys with showing you the install on this machine, and I'll drop the link below for the actual install video there. So this is what I'm going to be making the new kit with. This is 3-inch intercooler pipe. It's about $100 on Amazon if you order this. Pretty cheap. I probably wouldn't use this on my car or anything like that, but for what I'm doing here, it'll be great to build a snorkel. I'll probably have to do some cutting and stuff like that to get it to all work. But you see it's a lot bigger than that little pipe, and I'm going to be using this so it doesn't choke the motor down. So basically what I'm going to do is, this is the stock piece. I shaved the top of the stock piece off. I'm going to be putting this back into there, so I'm going to have to take all that silicone off. That's going to be a pain. And I'm going to adapt these 3-inch pipes to this stock pipe using a coupler. So if you look, I mean, it's pretty much 3-inch to 3-inch right there. My thumb looks crazy. It'll be like 3-inch to 3-inch. So it comes with all these couplers, it comes with a bunch of T-bolt clamps, and it has everything I will need to do the snorkel on this. So make sure you guys subscribe, because I will show you guys how I build the kit with this snorkel kit. So if you want to go the cheap PVC route, if you are strapped for time and you can't wait a couple days for Amazon to deliver stuff, you could go to Lowe's or Home Depot, build this thing in a day. Well, probably a couple hours, 2-3 hours. Or if you're a little more patient, you can build something like this. So this is the stock intake pipe. So basically what I did was I took this pipe and I kind of cut with a Sawzall. You could do it with a Dremel. It'll probably be a lot cleaner with a Dremel. But I cut this little top hat thing off, and this is a 3-inch pipe. So 3-inch pipe to 3-inch pipe, so it doesn't neck down at all. So I'm gonna put couplers on there and get all this thing going. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on and go to a time lapse and show you what I gotta do. But before that, so I'll just explain what I'm gonna do. So I plan on putting this in there, putting a 45 degree, or no, I think that's a, how many degrees? That's a 90 degree coupler. I'm gonna put a 90 degree coupler on there. I'm going to have to cut this piece off right here. So I'm gonna trim this right here so the 3-inch pipe can fit through there. And then I'm gonna go up the cage with it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and cut to a time lapse.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
All right, y'all, so I just want to show you a wrap up of what the aluminum snorkel looks like. Way better. I used it all weekend. It worked great. I went real deep, no issues. So basically you just have this piece right here. You cut the top stuff off. I put a 90 degree bend right there. And then I took the 90 degree pipe and fit that into there. I had to do some cutting on each side of the 90. Not a big deal. You saw that in the time lapse. And then I came up here and I ran this like U-shape pipe. It works good for me. I might move it because like if you have somebody sitting here and they have long hair, it could get like kind of sucked up in here because it does suck a lot of pressure. But overall, it worked for me good. Here's the vent lines right here. I just had them hanging out. I got these ones hanging out, so I'm actually going to run them all up. I'm going to run these all the way to the back and then run them all up together. But this is kind of a temporary thing because I just wanted to get out there. So I just wanted to get out there on the trails and just kind of rip, and I had a great weekend. Didn't break anything. Did pop a tire off a bead. I'll show you a picture of that. But overall, I mean, the bike did really good. I actually did wash it once since I got back, and then I took it and I got it stuck the other day over here by my house. So that's why it's all dirty right now, and I just didn't have time to wash it. I had time. I was just being lazy. But yeah, snorkel works great. $100, best $100 I spent. I'll show you guys the vent lines, how I did that. All right, to run these vent lines, first what you're gonna need is you're gonna need 5 of these 3/16 to 3/16 hose barbs. You can get the metal ones or the plastic ones or whatever. I prefer the metal ones. These are a couple bucks at Lowe's. So you're gonna wanna get 5 of these, and then you're gonna wanna get 3 rolls of this 3/16 rubber bendable hose, okay? The roll looks a lot bigger than this, but this is what it looks like, all right? 3 of these will be long enough to run them however you want to run them, all right? Disregard if I say any other sizes in this video. This is what I actually ended up using. So at some points I did talk about different sizes, but these are the sizes you need. For the hoses that you're going to be basically extending, you have one right here, which this is the rear diff vent line. You basically want to pull this off of here. So this is going to be the one with the 3/16 hose and the barb that you end up using on this one. So you connect the barb here and then you run it up however you want to run it up and get it as high as the snorkel. If you do take your machine this deep in water, you may get water into the diff, the rear diff, and you do not want to do that. So the hose basically runs down to the diff and it vents the diff. So there's that one, and let's find these other ones. The other vent, you can find it here on the front diff. I'm on the driver's side right now, so follow it up. It looks like it goes to the passenger side, so I'm going to walk around there. So the other hose runs over here, runs up, and it connects right here to the frame right here. So you just want to pull that thing off of there. Ow, that kind of hurt. And you want to vent this and run it up as high as you can up the cage. And so that's for the front diff. The other one's for the rear diff. I would imagine that there's one on the, looks like on this transfer case right here. It's a little bit thicker. This is going to be the 1/2 inch one. So it runs up right here. So you basically pull that thing out, and that is the 1/2 inch one that you're going to be putting on there and running that thing up as high as possible. So I'm going to run these lines and show you how I ended up running them. Hey y'all, the last 2 vent lines I'm going to show you guys, one is for the fuel tank. So you come in by the front of the machine and it kind of dangles over here. See if I can get the camera back there. So it normally dangles down there, and you can see it's pretty thick, and I connected that one. So I went ahead and connected that one. It usually goes to the frame right there. You see there's a little nipple sticking out on the frame right here. Sticks to the frame, so you pull it off the frame and then run that up. And then the last vent line is going to be for this coolant, or sorry, the fan, the radiator fan. So it has a very small hose, but you're able to connect it to the 3/16 line and run it up. It worked good for me. Don't ask me why the fan has a vent on it, but it does. So, but yeah, that's how you run the vent lines for your Honda Talon. Same for the X and the R. There's a little plastic piece here. I remove it. I keep it off for my snorkel. Just easier to see it that way in case this pipe gets messed up. I can see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Got the graphics taken off. Ready for mud bash, baby. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm taking these graphics off the side because I think they're kind of goofy looking. So I'm going to show you how I take these off the side. Nothing too crazy. You don't need a bunch of crazy tools or anything like that. All you need is something like this. Like a heat gun or a blow dryer would work, or a hair dryer or whatever, like if your wife or whatever has one of those. This is better, and this is cheap at Harbor Freight, probably like 10 bucks or so. Oh, what are my dogs doing? But yeah, you just basically use that. And another thing that you'll probably want to use, I'll show you here. See if I can get to it with the box body in the way. Where is it? I know I have some here. Oh, here we go. Some Goo Gone, and then something to wipe it down with. So don't need anything crazy. I'm gonna show you guys the process, put you guys on a time lapse for this one. Hopefully it goes smooth. We got this new, I'm filming on the GoPro Max this time. My other GoPro wasn't charged up, so I didn't feel like messing with that. So we'll check this out, see how it works.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
I went ahead, got the entire graphic off. Looks pretty good. Looks mean. Make sure that you use the heat gun, but don't get too much heat on it. You'll see some of the plastics. It'll start to leave some of the glue behind. If it leaves the glue behind, just get the glue hot afterwards and use the sticky part from the emblem after, and just kind of touch it on there a couple times, and you'll be able to kind of lift that glue off. So far, I think I've gotten it pretty smooth, and I haven't even had to use the Goo Gone, which is good, because the Goo Gone, it eats through stuff. So it'll eat kind of through the plastic a little bit. If you have, depending on which ATV you have, like on my General, as you were scrubbing it with Goo Gone, it would eat the plastics up. So yeah, got that all taken off, and I'm gonna give the door a wash here in a little bit, but I'm gonna do the other side first. As you see, it's getting kind of dark, but this other side, I'll be able to kind of see a little bit better because I have the light from my garage. I could pull it in the garage, but I'm probably just gonna let it sit here, try to do the time warp, and I'll be back.